Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant, your host of Redefining Yourself, my program, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Allow me to tell each and every one of the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for finding something that I have to say valuable in the process of your life, in your transition, in your healing process. I have been receiving a lot of emails and I try to read as much as I can. Sometimes I can't get to them all because there are so many emails and comments, and I do have a clientele in my private practice. So they get, first attention. They get first dibs to me because of the fact that they are my active clientele. But I do try to go back and read when I have an opportunity. And a lot of you are saying that these videos are helping you. A lot of you are saying that you can feel yourself. It feels like life is coming back. Feels like you're beginning to understand what has happened to you and you're taking the blame off of yourself. And I'm so grateful that you guys find value. And do know that I'm not the only one. You have, and I like watching him a lot too, Mr. Quinn Holiday, Miss Angie Atkinson, you have Melanie Tonya Evans, you have Sarah Speaks, you have Little Shaman. So each one of them are unique. Everybody is not for everybody, and I understand that, but each one of them are unique. I usually listen a lot to Quinn Holiday, and I listen a lot to Angie Atkinson. Those were the ones before I started making videos myself. I was listening to them as they were talking, and I said, oh, I can do this too, because I get it. I had the experience, and so I was able to connect with many of you guys because of the fact that I teach, because I'm also a clinician. I'm a mental health practitioner, and so to put together my the education that I've received and the experiences, whether it's in clinic, whether it's personal experience, and put it together and bring you information to take the blame off of you and put the blame in proper perspective, and that is on the narcissist. Because many of you blaming yourself for making the decision, doesn't matter what socioeconomic status that you are in. The thing about it is, it doesn't matter how wealthy you are. You have to remember that a narcissist is a manipulator. And so later on, when you back up and look at the situation, the first thing most people say is I cannot believe that I got into a situation like that. This person is not even on my caliber, on my level, on my, and you come to find out they're not as smart as you thought they were, and so a lot of you look back and like, this is not even, she or he is not even a person that I would have dated or married in the first place. I don't know how I got myself in here. And a lot of people assume that just because you're intelligent, just because you're educated, that, you can spot a narcissist. Well, a lot of times a narcissist is very hard to spot. And as you know, on the narcissist, knowing the narcissist, which is H.G. Tudor, he has explained to us the different ranges of narcissism: the low, the mid, the greater narcissist. So you know that a narcissist is on a scale as well, and they grow. And so that leads me into a question that was asked by Mr. Vidro, was about narcissists that are public figures. And so I kind of broaden that out a little bit and put that into the perspective of those that are that are public figures, those that are in the entertainment field, those that are in positions of power, those that have a following, put it that way. And so to start off by explaining that, or giving you my professional perspective about that, I went to, and I always, before I come on, I usually go and research and see what people have said and look at some of the life coaches. And there is one, let's look, Miss Christine, what is her name? I think it's Loces, I think it is. And she wrote a book, When Shame Begets Shame, How Narcissists Hurt and Shame Their Victims. So you go check that out. But she put on her site, which is narcissisticbehavior.net, she was talking about sources of supply. So to start this off about public figures and entertainers and people that are in positions of power or trusted positions, do you understand? Let's talk, hopefully you've been watching these videos or other videos to help you begin to understand what a narcissist does and how a narcissist operates. Do understand that a narcissist does not have empathy or compassion like the average person. So a lot of times you're thinking the way that you think. So you're trying to figure out the narcissist based on how you think, with empathy and with compassion. They don't have empathy and compassion. So you can't think like a narcissist thinks, because a narcissist does not think with empathy and compassion. And then then do remember there is a chemical in your brain that's called oxytocin. The oxytocin works, when you have children, when you have sex, when you bond with people. It's the chemicals that are released that helps you bond to people. Well, the narcissist, and it's funny because the oxytocin also is the chemical that creates addictions. And so the thing is that a narcissist can be addicted, but it's amazing because the narcissist cannot bond with people. And so it makes you wonder whether that was a choice that became a habit, that became a dysfunction. I'm gonna have to research that. But so remember that, they don't have compassion, they don't have empathy, and they're not able to bond with people. And so you're dealing with an individual that sees people as sources of supply. And I think I said it before, and someone quoted me, where it's just like a person that has a problem with diabetes, that's dealing with diabetes, in order, and they're taking insulin shots. In order to level out the blood sugar, they have to take an insulin shot. Most of us can do it with food, and our body produces enough insulin to regulate the blood sugar, the glucose levels. Well, a person that has diabetes, their body does not function that way, and they have to take either medication, control it with diet, or those that are insulin dependent have to take a shot, and have to manage their food. Well, narcissists is like that. The only way that they can balance their ego and their not even their emotion, but their ego, because remember, they have a very low self-worth, a low ego, but that's not what you see, but behind that mask, the true narcissist has a very low self-esteem, is very jealous, is very paranoid. They're always, they deal with a lot of rage. They deal with a lot of feelings of rejection and abandonment. But what you see, the mask that they wear, is totally opposite than the way that they really are. So they're very convincing. So that's why they become, they're great illusionists, great actors. And so I'm going to get to that. And so do understand that they look at people, things, people as sources of supply. And what she said here is that narcissists always need a constant source of narcissistic supply to support their fragile ego. Narcissist supplies anything or anybody that allows the narcissist to draw respect, admiration, power, control, and support from their environment, i.e. accommodating people as their victims. A flashy car, the clothes that they wear, indeed, anything that brings them attention and adoration is narcissistic supply. And so they have to have, and they grow bored very easily. So if you have been watching my YouTube channel, I did a video on the fact that they grow bored very easy. And so do know that when you're dealing with narcissists that are in public positions or public figures, let's start with that first, in public figures. Think about it for just a minute. They already have a God complex. They believe that they are a God. Like the pharaohs, they were the gods to be worshipped. Their whole thing is to make sure that they get admiration, they get attention, you compliment them, there's no fault in them, you don't see anything wrong with them. What happens when the mask starts falling off is when their humanity begins to show. Humanity meaning that they make mistakes. They make, but to them, to us, we make a mistake, it may be harsh, and we make mistakes, and we go back and we try to recalibrate and try to, okay, I made a mistake, let me go back and see how to do this better. A narcissist doesn't see that. They'll keep doing the same thing over and over again, but they lash out on people when people begin to see, when people begin to get boundaries, when people begin to see beyond that mask and see what they're really like. And so you have people that are in public offices or public figures or in the entertainment field or in the, in the movie industry. Think about it for just a minute. You have people in public positions. I think someone mentioned about a surgeon. Well, think about it. A lot of surgeons, and I have, I have worked with the medical field, and a lot of people within the medical field are narcissists. Because think about it. Everyone comes to them. Everyone comes to them for advice. They do surgery. They can change things. They can fix things. And they give credit to themselves. I did that. I did that for you. I fixed you. I did that. I did that. And so they want that admiration. Think about it in the legal system. What lawyers, the greatest lawyers are the ones that get the most public cases. The most, if they get on television, their law firm gets attention, but they become the greatest lawyer. This was that lawyer that defended that public case. And I was the lawyer that was on that case on television. I was the one. And people began to search him up on YouTube, not YouTube, but search him up on Google. And so, and then on top of that, you're dealing with the judicial system. You have people that interpret law. They defend the law, they defend the Constitution, but they also can interpret the law the way they want to interpret the law. And remember, a narcissist, the rules don't apply to a narcissist. So you have those that are in the legal system that are good lawyers that want to defend people, that want to help people. And sometimes they do find loopholes, they do find laws, and when I was in school, my minor, which I didn't complete, when we were doing the Constitution and how they do cases, the biggest thing, I was kind of surprised because the biggest thing is to show that the process was not, if you're a traffic stop or you take someone to court, the first thing becomes is trying to discredit the other lawyer or discredit the, let's say, police officers or the legal system as to the person that was doing the arrest or doing whatever did not follow the Constitution, did not follow the codes, did not follow the laws. So most of the time, in the beginning, it's not, and I think a lawyer said it's not about whether they're right or wrong. A lot of times it's whether the law has been followed in doing the case. A lot of times you can get the cases thrown out because the law was not followed in bringing the case to court in the first place. That's just like your credit report. A lot of times you can dispute things on your credit report, and it's not the fact that you may not have paid a bill, but it's the fact that the people reporting it did not do the proper paperwork to report that information on your credit report. Think about it. That's why they have a lot of people that come on and try to and clean up your credit, because a lot of times when they reported things on your credit report, it was not done properly. It was not done legally, so they can get it taken off of your credit report, not because you didn't do it or didn't pay the bill. And so you have to think, you have people within the legal system that know how to interpret law. So now these are the people that want to help you, but then think about those that are narcissists. They'll use the law against you. They'll use the law and evade the law themselves by doing things that are illegal, Then you have people within the entertainment industry. Every entertainer needs a following, needs a fan base. You have those that are in the music industry or the movie industry. They need a fan base. The way that they sell albums, the way that they sell concerts is fan base. They make their money off of the people that follow them. And then you have those that are loyal. They look at these people as gods, like they can do no wrong, like they don't make mistakes, like they don't eat and sleep like, the average. So people are shocked when they catch them going to the grocery store and they're not glamorized like they are in the magazines or on movie videos. You think that they live, their life in a movie, not a movie, but a video shoot. Their life does not consist of a video shoot. When the video shoot is over, just like I turn off the camera, I go back to my regular life. That's just the same way that a musician, when they turn the videos off, they wipe their face, take the makeup off, and they go back to their regular life. So you see them in the grocery store, you're like, that's not what you look like. They don't look like that all the time. But their fan base, they depend on their fans. And fans can make a person feel like a god, and they get energy. A lot of stars, a lot of artists said that they like the adrenaline rush and the high that they get when they get in front of thousands, hundreds, and thousands of fans that are calling out their name. All the attention is on them. They make them feel empowered. They make them feel like a superhero, undefeatable, or if that's correct. But just like in the movie industry, think about it. Even in the work field, it's applauded for a person to be aggressive, to be able to cut off their emotion and focus and get something done. And so a lot of times what happens is a narcissistic personality disorder or a narcissist is applauded for the way that they get things done, but they could care less. All it is, it's not even about moving the company. It's about getting the attention, getting the accolades, getting the picture on the wall, just like movie stars or, those that are in the film industry. I have to look young, I have to act the best, and narcissists are the greatest actors. They act all day long. They don't need a script. You give them a script for that particular movie. That's just like getting new supply. You give them the script to that movie, they go into character to play that character for that movie. That's the same way they do with supply. they get a new supply, or they find someone that's a potential new supply, and the mistake that the new supply makes is they hand them the script. So they study the script, and then they play the role in that movie in their life. Well, think about with the in the entertainment business, it's natural for them. And because of fans making them feel, they have a large following, groupies, an entourage, and then you have those that put their flying monkeys on payroll. What's the best way for some people that just have no morals, no ethics? They watch as the artists do wrong, do illegal things, do things that they know is not legally, morally, and ethically right. But because of the fact that they have them on payroll and they pay them well, and they're not impoverished, or they're sending their kids to school, the money speaks louder, and they turn the blind eye to what the narcissist is doing. And so that's how and I think someone asked, how do they choose out of their flying monkeys who is their favorite? The one that gives them what they want without question, the one that they can use the most, and one that they get most supply, the ones that are most faithful and most loyal to the narcissist. And a lot of them will put them on their payroll. And so it doesn't matter, you have those flying monkeys that are surrounding artists and public figures that will fight on their behalf. They have lawyers and legal teams that are put on their payroll, that are paid very well to be on their payroll. So it doesn't even matter about the law anymore. Now it matters about, I'm going to protect your reputation. I'm going to protect you even when I know that you're doing wrong. Now let that artist or that public figure lose money, and they can't keep them on their payroll. People will begin to show their true colors too, and they start talking about you. They start talking about them. But yes, public figures, that is where you can get not you, but the narcissist can get the most supply. They get the greatest following. They get the greatest flying monkeys. They get the most loyal fans that will protect them to the day that they die. And some fans, it doesn't matter, oh, he was having or she was having a bad day. She made a mistake. He made a mistake. They're only human. They're just people like we are. Stop being so hard on them. And they could have murdered someone, just like you have those that are in the prison system that are famous cases. Some people chase fame because they want to be connected to someone that is of higher status. Narcissists are like that too. But then you have those people that want to be connected with those people in high statuses to affiliate or associate to make themselves feel good. But really it's a disaster waiting to happen. And so yes, public figures, those that are lawmakers, those that interpret law, those that are public figures, when you get into a position of power, when you get in a position of leadership, and this is what I used to teach my soldiers, the higher up you go in rank, and the same thing my mentor teaches those that she mentors and teaches us, the higher you go up in a position of power, the more humble you should be, because you are in a place of servitude. And the more power you have, the more doors you can walk through, the more influence you have, the more people you can help. And that's how you need to maintain. You have to be humble. The more power you have, the higher the position goes. Same thing I used to teach my soldiers when I had soldiers. The further you go up in the rank in the military, the more influence you have, the more power you have, the more people that know you, the easier it is for you to walk through certain doors and get certain things, and people to help you. You should be using that to help the people that are following and supporting you. You are a public servant. You are in a position to provide help for people. Even those people that are in the music and film industry, there are some that are humble. There are some that are humanitarians. They take their money to help people. They take their money to buy houses after, Hurricane Katrina, devastation. They put their money together. They put money together. They put people together to raise, because they know that they have a fan base, and they bring all these different artists together for a fan base to help a cause. Some are humble people, and then there are some that are narcissists, and they have a large following, and they have those that they don't have to fight. Those are flying monkeys. An artist or a public figure or an entertainer really doesn't have to fight, period. They've got flying monkeys that are going to defend them, so they don't have to concern themselves about what people say or who's coming up against them or what. they're going to defend. They have lawyers that are willing to defend them for free, really, if you think about it. Or there are some that want the money. So I'll do whatever I can do to get your money. The sad thing about it is that you can look at some of the people that were in their heyday in the music and the entertainment business. And remember, a lot of times it depends on your acting capabilities and your appearances and your looks. The modeling industry, the fashion industry, it depends on your looks. And so here you see these narcissists, and remember we just did one on aging. You see these narcissists that begin to age in public, and then they go and have all these things done, and you can look at their picture at how beautiful, how gorgeous, how handsome they were at one point in time, and then you look at what they look like now, and the crazy thing about it is they think they're beautiful, and you're looking like you have like completely damaged your natural beauty, your good looks. Nothing wrong with a little nip and tuck, but not if you pull your eye all the way to the top of your forehead. Your eyes don't belong on your forehead. Your ears are not connected in the back of your head. Your smile, which started off here, is now you look like the Joker, and then you're wondering, and a lot of them are competing with the younger generation, the younger actors, the younger artists, and you can see some of the older ones that are trying to act young. So the very thing that I talked about the aging narcissist, you can see it within the public figures. They don't age well. They don't, when they're not able to get acting roles anymore, when their fan base dwindles, one moment they were a star, the next minute everybody hates them. No one knows who they are. They don't care. They're walking around like the average person, and they're suicidal. So when they lose that following, when they have been to the height of public entertainment, public figures, public politicians, within the legal system, those people that are known and have a large fan base, when they begin to dwindle, you'll notice more things like suicidal ideation. And a lot of them, when they have suicidal ideation, they will commit suicide because they don't have the supply that they once had at one time. Think about it. They have so much supply. There's a plethora of supply. They always have supply. You have groupies that run up to artists' hotel rooms, and they can come out and they can wave their hand and take everybody. Think about it. It's like a god. They come out and I want you, and I want you, and I want you. Males and females alike, because females do it too. They come out and they have the pick of the litter. They can choose whatever supply they want to, and these supply remain faithful, even if they're being abused. They much rather stay because remember, even though they're artists, or public figures, they're still narcissists. They still have trauma bonded. They still have said things to cause that person to be completely enamored and disillusioned with this narcissist. So hopefully this has answered your question, Mr. Vidro. I had to write your name down. Mr. Vidro, hopefully this brought a little insight on what my professional perspective was on that. You guys can carry on with that conversation. It's so broad. We can just keep on talking about it. But hopefully that brought, a little perspective from my perspective, my professional perspective about that. A narcissist is a narcissist. Doesn't matter where they are. You have, like I said, the lower, the mid-range to the higher narcissists. And narcissists a lot of times are not easy to spot. They're very charismatic. They're very nice, charming individuals, nice people. I mean, you feel safe around them. They make you laugh. Just the nicest people that you would ever meet. And that is the what I call them. That is the representative. That is the mask that they're wearing. That a lot of times that is the covert narcissist. The charming, nice people, beautiful people, just seem like they have just a wonderful heart. Just will give you the shirt off the back. Do make sure that you're taken care of because they need that fuel. But eventually that mask will begin to slip off. There are little red flags that you'll start picking up on, and they are narcissists. They have a black heart, So hopefully that answers your question, you guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Vidro. Hopefully that answered your question. Thank you guys so much. I'm still writing down some of the requests that you guys have made in reference to videos. Just be patient with me. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel. All the new subscribers, I am so honored. Thank you so much for being here with me. I do come on live on Sundays between 8 and 9 Pacific Standard Time, which is on the West Coast. And so I know we have people in different areas, and thank you so much. Panama Canal, we have UK, we have Australia, we have Brazil, we have Mali, we have, I said Canada, right? Have the US, where else do we have? Korea, so many people on here. Thank you so much. But that lets you know if you have so many people on here from different parts of the world, and all of us are relating to the same story, Most of our stories are exactly the same. And all of you that come on there say, oh my gosh, it sounds like you're talking about mine. Think about it. All of you guys are making the same comment. So narcissist is narcissist. They have the same traits. They have the same behaviors. They have the same MO. So hopefully you guys are healing. Thank you so much. If you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, and it is CarmenBryant with a T, because we do have Carmen Bryans on there. I'm not Nas's baby mama, because I think that's Nas's baby mama. That is not me. I am Carmen Bryant with a T, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I do have a Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. You hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the bell on the YouTube channel so you know whenever I upload videos. I usually upload Tuesday through Friday when I'm in office, and then on Sundays I come on live. I do post over on Facebook, and whenever I have little problems with Facebook connection, I usually revert back over to YouTube. And so please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Keep the comments coming. Keep the emails coming. I do go through there and I do write topics down. So sometimes I can't read everything, and sometimes it's long, so I have to pick a day to read a long email, and then I write down like some questions that you have, and then I make videos on it. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you guys so much for all the wonderful comments. Thank you guys, and for the kings out there, thank you guys for finally stepping up to the plate and saying, hey, this has happened to me too. Originally, I started the channel and I was focused more on the women because the women were the ones that reached out. The women were the ones that was talking about their experiences. But now we have men that are coming out and they're giving their story too. And the story is that you guys go through abuse just like women go through abuse. You guys go through domestic violence, just underreported when it comes to men. So I honor you, men. Thank you so much for the kings that are on here that are willing to share their stories so we can get a perspective from you guys. And to all you beautiful queens, thank you. And remember to stay royal, okay? You guys are a royal breed. You guys are royal. You guys are kings and queens. You be kings and queens. You know, you don't have to lower your standards or even lower your intelligence to anyone like a narcissist. Beware and be careful on these social medias as well, okay? As my friend always says, go and be great.